Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Renaissance here, Renaissance Radio, episode 2. Last time we talked about gay hip hop, etc. If you want more information about that, please check out the last episode. Remember, we don't want to reiterate ourselves, over and over and over again. But last time I did say I was going to talk a little bit about the process and what's next for EQ Records and Renaissance. First off, before I even get into that, I want to say thank you to everyone who came out to Newark Essex Pride. All the organizers out there performing there was great. I got a chance to meet some of the other performers who were there, so it was a really great experience. If you guys want to see a clip from the show, the real camera got left home. Well, actually, we brought the camera and then left the tapes. So it was like this whole mix-up. So basically, you had to break out the BlackBerry and then just start. So yeah, the sound quality is a little bit off, but you will definitely get the idea and feel the energy of North Pride. So, but what's next for Renaissance is Jersey City Pride. I'm performing there August 29th. Saturday at Exchange Place. Everyone should really come out, even if you're from New York, because 10,000 people showed up last year, and this is only I think the 8th year. It was only the 8th year of Pride, so in Jersey City. So really, it's getting huge. So guys, come on across the river. We'll see you, and even if it's hot that day, we're right on the waterfront, so it's gonna be nice and breezy and cool out there. So today, though, that's what's next. Let me just make sure I got my notes here. Oh, and the process. I said I was going to talk a little about the process. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about the process next time. I think that's really boring. The process, you want to know how I sit down and make music and, no, it's boring. Trust me. I get inspiration from the most random things. I go to coffee shops. I write, I listen to music, a lot of different stuff. And then I go sit down to produce, and the most random stuff comes out. I don't think I have a particular sound, unless it's just the sound of what's going on in my head. So that's really all I can say about the process, and all I'm gonna say about it right now. But today, the real topic I really want to talk about, and I think this is probably going to be a part 1 and part 2, is what does it mean, or what is it to be an artist during a recession? How does the economic climate right now affect us as independent artists? And I'm gonna tell you how it affected me. So it's not all good and it's not all bad, but I do want to tell you a little bit about me. So last year I was working at an organization, and I was paid through a grant from another big corporation that faced some financial problems. I have to be vague here because I'm going to be vague. But basically, my hours became shorter and shorter and shorter, to where I was only getting 8 hours a week at a place where I was promised full-time employment. So, you can imagine getting like only 8 hours of work. So obviously I didn't work there anymore at the end of the year. And then that began like 6 or 7 months of completely being unemployed, and not unemployed collecting unemployment, unemployed, no money, no nothing. And I think that particular, and I have a really strong resume, and so I should have been able to get employed, but everybody is applying everywhere, so there are like no jobs, right? The economic climate I'm talking about. So as I sat in my apartment, trying to figure out what to do, depression sets in and all that, and then you write, and then you go to your studio, and then you start producing, and then you start saying wow. And that's actually the inspiration behind the mixtape that came out last quarter, Notes from a Recessionista. Like that came out of just squeezing it. Like I just happened to get some money back from taxes, but bought all the extra stuff that I needed in addition to what I already had, and really just started to create. See, a lot of times people think that they need to have $10,000 to make a studio, to create a studio, and then start doing everything. Or, man, if I just had this much money, I could get started. Or if I just had that. No. Okay. like the way we do things at EQ is like, you know, you want to do something, you have to do it. You know, it's like money, it should not be a barrier, because this is really what we do here. It comes from the heart. You know, it's everything real. Like, I don't act like I go around shooting people in the face. Like, I'm not gonna make up any, you know, nonsense in my rhymes. Like, my songs, my music, you're always gonna feel it at some place in you, because for me, when I created it, it came from a real place. So to all you guys out there who, you know, are artists right now, or creators, like writers and, you know, entertainers, comedians, musicians, you know, dancers, you don't have to wait until you come into a huge amount of money in order to get started. You know, to get started, you just have to get started. You have to have the will to do it. You know why? Because when the money does come, as it will, you know, things ebb and flow. Like, the money comes and then the money goes. And what happens if you're like in the middle of your career as of whatever you are, and suddenly the bottom falls out? What are you going to do? Are you just going to be like, oh, I don't have any money, I can't run my label anymore? Are you going to say, oh, I don't have any money, I can't do this business venture anymore? Like, what are you going to do? Or are you going to like give up, or are you going to keep it going? So, you know, in order to get into it, in order to break into the industry or whatever you want, you got to have that wherewithal, you know, to really make it through. So that's just my, you know, take on it. That's very personal, but I figure I would let you know how the recession affected me. But at the same time, I ask myself, you know, I find myself, even though I understand that there's good and bad, I ask myself, man, do people even buy CDs anymore? Like, you know, I've chosen an industry where I'm gonna make music and sell it in a CD form when people don't have money to buy anything, right? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, people buy CDs. And me, I'm a DJ, right? So I like collect so much music. And in the past 6 months, I only bought 3 CDs, 3, and 2 of them were used for $1 each from the local used CD place. Okay, I bet you want to know what my other CD was. I'm gonna tell you. The CD I spent my hard-earned money on was Kala by MIA. I mean, you know MIA from Paper Planes, and I just love that music. Like, I'm a big UK head, South London, North London. Like, I'm a real music fan. So I know that I'm rambling, and that's because it's 9:30 in the morning and I don't do mornings. I'm really not good at this, but I had to definitely get this radio show out. I was supposed to do it on Monday, and remember I told you guys I started 2 jobs this week, so I'm just like all over the place. But I do want you to know that, you know, I'm still working real hard on Renaissance stuff, EQ Records, and we're coming at y'all. So, you know, stay tuned in for everything on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/EQ Records, and just go crazy. All right, guys, if you have any questions, comments, anything, hit up the MySpace. You can message me over there, myspace.com/Renaissance, RENNYSANZ, renaissance.blogspot.com, or even my email, renaissance@gmail.com. It's a very personal email, but hey, I'll answer it. So yeah, it's been really good talking to y'all right now, and I'm gonna go back to bed because it's 9:30 in the morning and it's my 1 day off out of the 7. So peace and love, Renaissance, be yourself.